Batteries are your weakest link in an off-grid system. You really want to take really good care and baby them as much as possible. Ideally, you want to try to keep them at as close to 78 degrees as you possibly can. Insulated box, or one of the ways you can keep them at 78 degrees is as long as power's going into it, that keeps it warm. The energy going into it keeps them warm. If they sit for a long time without solar going into it, that's when they start getting cold. You don't have to worry about them freezing if they're fully charged. A fully charged battery is 22% acid, and therefore it's not going to freeze. It's only when it's completely discharged that it's water, and then it'll freeze. And so basically how we do the batteries is you're wiring it together to get your desired voltage in series, and the voltage is determined by what size solar system you're putting in. Basically what we do, 12 volts if it's up to 1,000 watts, 24 volts is up to 2,000 watts, and then 48 volts is the highest code allows. Anything higher than that. And the reason is we're trying to keep the current flow under 100 amps, because then you're starting to have to get the really big batteries. The national code does require a 2-aught cable or bigger, so you can't go to just a regular auto parts store and get a cable. And then coming out, the cables that are the inverter size is the draw of the inverter. And so the wire sizing is just regular National Electric Code. So these are charged through the charge controller, charge the batteries, and then that's both DC, and then of course the inverter switches it to AC. The inverter size is determined by what your load is, what you're running all at the same time. So that's your peak load. Most good inverters will actually be able to surge to twice the capacity of what it's rated. So, you know, when a fridge starts up, the motor has the surge start up, but the inverter can handle that for a short period of time. So I used to do all DC stuff off grid, and just because inverters weren't that great, but that was 15 years ago. So like, I mean, I actually talked to a lady this morning, and the system I put in '99, she's like, still operational. The power went out in this winter, and you know, it flipped over to the batteries. In their case, they just used the batteries for backup power. So live off grid when the power goes out. It's just like, so yeah, it's like I basically try to design systems that the grid is your backup generator. That's my goal.